Girl, you know you need to call me. All right, I love you. Bye.
Hey family, welcome to Call Me When You Make It. I'm Jayla.
And I'm Tamala, and we are the mother-daughter duo that you never knew you needed.
Yes, welcome to episode 12.
Yay.
Today, I'm excited for today's episode because this is actually going to become kind of like a regular episode or regular series that we're going to do on the pod. We are doing a relationships chit chat. So I think what the vibe of this is going to kind of be is like over time, if you guys have relationship questions, advice, certain topics that you want us to get into just regarding relationships, because there's so much that we can talk about when it comes to relationships.
So much. There's not enough time to just do one.
We can't. We were like,
it's impossible.
Because we were trying to figure out, like, okay, are we going to just do one episode on relationships? There's just no way. We can't.
Yeah.
So we're like, we're just going to do relationship chit chats and focus on a specific aspect in each chit chat. Does that make sense? Right. So if you have any topics, advice, questions, whatever, please let us know, and then we will include it in a future relationship chit chat.
Yes.
So today's chit chat was actually an idea from one of my besties. She was like, I really want to hear you guys talk about relationships and polygamy versus monogamy and just kind of like your thoughts on that, dating today, things like that. So I said, you know what? Let's go ahead and get into it. So
shout out to her.
Love
you very much.
So,
I love you.
Monogamy versus polygamy. First of all, let's just get into what, because yesterday you were like, I didn't even know what polygamy was. So
pardon my ignorance. So obviously I'm not practicing.
So I guess just to give like background, in case you don't know, monogamy, or if you're in a monogamous relationship, is when it's just you and one other person, you're exclusive.
Yeah,
polygamy,
I knew what that was.
Right. Polygamy is basically the opposite, where you're in a relationship with multiple people. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but typically it's like, it could be, a guy and he has multiple girlfriends or wives, or it could be a woman and has multiple, husbands, boyfriends, or it could be, it doesn't have to be based on gender. It could just be like you're seeing multiple partners. Okay. And I know sometimes it's like there's one person and they have multiple partners, but the other people are just exclusive to them. But then there's other situations where it's like everybody has multiple partners and everybody's just kind of like doing their own thing. So yeah. So
sounds like a STD waiting to happen.
But hey, anyway, so let's just get into our views as far as as far as what we think. Before we get into that though, I want to give kind of like where this conversation was prefaced from though too, because first of all, we're not going to get into like the details of these situations because this is not that type of a podcast. We're not going to get into all the tea and the gossip and the current events, but basically, if you haven't heard, Neo has been in the media a lot because he has been talking about his polygamous relationship with his 4 girlfriends. And then another person that's been in the media a lot for years now has been Nick Cannon. If you didn't know, he now has 12 kids by 6 different women. So, just to kind of like give that, we kind of just wanted to talk about that and then get into like, monogamy versus polygamy. So when it comes to, let's talk about like Neo's situation, or just not even him in particular, because again, we're not going into the details, but like, how do you feel about somebody having like multiple girlfriends or boyfriends or partners?
Okay, so again, I'll start out with the whole judging thing. So I feel like if someone were to decide that they wanted to have multiple partners, I would want to know why. Why do you feel like you need multiple partners? What's the reason?
Okay, that's valid.
I would want to know why.
That's
like, really,
valid.
I would say, okay, this is your choice, because life's about choices, right? What's your reason? That's I always want to know why. That's a very interesting situation. So what is the reason why you need what do you need 4 girlfriends for?
That's a good point, because it's like what
is the purpose
what's
of that?
Not being fulfilled.
Right, that's what that says to me. You're not getting something. Something's not fulfilled.
Or is it something's not being fulfilled, or is it greed? Is
Well,
it just
that
wanting,
too. Okay, so here's always my thing. There's a reason behind everything.
Yeah.
If you're doing something, there's a reason. So
Yeah.
what's your reason? I want to know what the reason is. That's what I would ask him.
That's a good point.
Yeah, that's what I would say to that.
And then what about your feelings on... Actually, no, we're not even going to get into that yet, because that's the whole... Because I'm going to have a lot to say about that. Okay, so I guess I'll speak to that too, because again, getting into... just like how you were saying, y'all know, if you've been watching us long enough, you know that we are not here to judge. And my thing is...
But we have opinion.
Right, of course.
Like everyone else.
If you want to be in a polygamous relationship, obviously that's your prerogative. And I know that, we're in a society that monogamy is pushed, and that's like what we're conditioned to do. If you kind of look at other cultures and stuff, there are cultures where polygamy is the norm, like it's the thing to do. Now granted, I will say it's the norm where like men will have multiple wives. That's not necessarily the same for women, so that's something that maybe should be unpacked as well. But to me, it's like, if you are content with being in a polygamous relationship, and that's something that you actually want to do. That's the key word, though, is that you actually want to do.
Right.
Because
you're not being forced.
My thing is, with a situation like Neo's situation, or anybody where it's like 1 man and 4 women, or one woman and 5 men, or whatever the case may be, my question to the people that are involved is, are you actually happy with this situation? Is this person that you're in a relationship with really giving you everything that you want? Are you getting the time, the attention, the quality time, the, whatever that you want out of the relationship? Are you really getting all of that? And are you okay with sharing that with other people?
Right.
Because for me personally, the answer is no. There's no way that I could be in a relationship with a man and there's 3 other women that are sharing him, and I'm cool with that. Like that would be a lie. I would never be happy with that. I would never want to share a man like that, because you're never gonna get their full anything, their full attention, their full...
Well, he's 1 man, first of all. So just like I said, I would ask him, why do you
What's
need
the reason?
4? I would ask, if the 4 ladies were sitting here on the sofa, I would ask them, why do you need to share 1 man?
Right.
Wouldn't you like to have your own by yourself, to yourself?
Right.
Or what is your reason for wanting to share?
Right.
1 man.
I'm very
with
curious.
3. I would ask them the same thing, but in the it'd be the reverse question. I would, because again, I would want to know, why do you want to be in this type of relationship?
How is it benefiting you?
Yeah, how is this working for you? I would want to know.
I'm curious.
I would really
I
want to
really
know
am.
What is the benefit of being in a polygamous relationship versus monogamous. I would ask them that.
Because my other thing
I would
too
want to know the answer to that question.
I've heard people say, oh, well, they're probably in it for the money. Because obviously Neo or somebody of his caliber has a lot of money. But my thing is like, is there not other men that are rich that you could, that you wouldn't have to share like that? Yeah. So I'm just
of course there are. I met one, and we'll get to that later.
Right. So
there's men all over the world with money.
Yeah.
That you don't have to share.
So I'm very
if you
curious.
so choose.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all by themselves.
Yeah. So I'm very
and they
curious.
don't want to share you.
Right.
And you don't have to.
Yeah. I would want to know. I really want to know, like, what would even make you want to consider? Because
I personally couldn't tell you. But
it's something that like I've never, like, that's just not even on the radar.
Yeah, that's just
like
out of the question.
Because my thing is, okay, because like there's a difference between like when you're dating, and so let's say like you're single and then you start dating, you're like in the dating pool, kind of getting your feet wet, whatever. if you're dating multiple people, that's one thing. Because it's
Right.
like, you know, I would hope you're letting them know that, you know, you guys aren't exclusive and you're testing the waters, right? But when you actually are making a commitment to someone and you're like, I want to be with you, let's be exclusive, I just don't understand how you would want to agree to, like, share with other people. Like, I just don't know how, like, how does that become an option? Like, I'm genuinely, I'm asking. So please comment. Like, if you are in or have been in a
we would like
polygamous
to know the answer to that question.
I'm just curious because I
Seriously.
genuinely want to know, like, how does that even become a thing? Like, how do you get involved? How, like, what made you want to even do that?
What made you want to do it? And I would like to know, what are you really getting out of it? Like, what's the difference for you? You know, one versus the other, because I'm just really confused about it. Yeah. So that would be interesting to hear what you're getting out of that, really.
What I'm also really curious about is in the specific situations where it's like a man who has multiple girlfriends and the girlfriends are exclusive to him. That I don't understand. Because my thing is, like, if there's a man and it's like, okay, you guys are all sharing the man, but then you guys are also doing your own thing on the side, okay, fine, whatever, I guess. Like, that would make more sense.
Well, because you're not sitting there waiting,
right,
on his time.
But it's like,
okay, I have to wait till 8 o'clock.
But but it's like, I don't understand when it's like one man sharing, you know, or multiple women sharing one man, and you're like exclusive and faithful to him. I don't understand.
So
I want to know, like, why. What?
Yeah, I do too. Yeah.
Okay. So that's kind of my take on that.
Okay,
it's just lots of questions.
Right.
But, you know, again, if there's certain benefits that we're not seeing, I would love to know, because I am genuinely curious, especially because I think that's like the psychology part of me, and I'm very, very interested in relationships, you know, love, sex, all of that kind of thing. But it's just always so interesting to me when people kind of are outliers when it comes to, like, relationship type stuff. So that's why polygamy is so interesting to me, because I'm just like, I don't even know, like, how do you even, like, get involved in that? You know what I mean?
I don't know.
Okay, so that was that situation. Next, I really, really want to talk about the multiple kids with multiple women. Like I mentioned earlier, Nick Cannon has 12 kids with 6 women. Again, we're not getting into the details of his situation because it's not about that. It's just about the conversation surrounding it. There's been so much discourse about this over the years, and he's not the only one. There's, you know, of course, there's a lot of men who have multiple kids by multiple women. What are your thoughts on that? What are your thoughts on that? The multiple children with multiple women.
I need to take a deep breath first, a sigh. Okay. So, correct me if I'm wrong, but from what I understand, he set out to have all these children on purpose.
From my understanding, yes. Again, correct us if we're wrong, but from my understanding, these kids are on purpose.
Okay.
From what I know.
Okay.
I don't think it was, I also don't think you can be like, oops, with 6 women. Like,
So and again, we're not going into particulars, but I just want to say if anybody like him was doing that. So, okay, that's where I'm going with this. Yeah. Okay, so anyone that's going around having children on purpose with multiple women, and again, it's not just him. So the women, they're just equally,
it takes 2 to tango.
You know, right? They know what's going on.
Yeah.
Okay, so again, I would want to know why. Same, just like the other conversation. Why would you want to do that? Well, you have children. What you're one person. I don't understand why. I'm like speechless almost. You know how I feel about children. So you have all these children. Now you have to deal with all these different mothers. That's the other thing. You have all these different mothers, six different mothers that you have to deal with. Okay, that must be fun.
That's a full-time job right there.
Exactly. Yeah. Why would you want to put that on yourself? Number one, and not that I really care about what he has to go through, but I'm worried about the kids.
Right.
The poor kids.
Right.
You know, I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Like, you can only spread yourself so thin. You know, I just feel like that's just irresponsible. And people say, oh, well, he has the money to pay for it. That's not the point. It's not. People always want to talk about the money. I'm sorry. When kids are growing up, they're not as... Here's the thing. Kids grow up, they're not worried about your money. Mm-mm. They're worried about, did you spend time with me?
Right.
Did you,
were you at my basketball game?
Right.
Did you come to my play? Were you there for Christmas?
Was there quality time spent? And maybe he is running around like a, chicken with his head cut off, going to everything, and good for him. But bottom line, you have 12 kids. Are you telling me he's at every little thing with all these 12 kids?
There's no way.
Stop. Because that's impossible. No. It's just not. It's not even possible.
No. Mm-mm. Especially I don't even
when
know
they start
if they
getting
all
really
live
active
in the same.
When those
place.
12 kids start getting active in activities and doing all these things. Listen, I had 2, and it was hard to keep up. Okay, so I don't believe that.
Yeah.
And so what I'm saying is, he is. The kids are going to miss out. Is all I'm saying on something. And that is not fair to the kids. That's what I feel.
I agree.
And the mothers are at fault too.
I agree. And that's what I was going to get into because, it takes 2 to tango. Mm-hmm. So I put the blame on both. Because thing is...
It takes 2 and it's 50-50.
If you both go into a situation... Well, let's start from the beginning. Let's take a scenario where, he had, 2 kids with... I think Mariah was the first. They had the twins.
Yes.
Okay, so you had the 2 kids. Okay, fine. Obviously, they broke up. You get with somebody else, right? Okay, you have kids with her or a kid with her, whatever. My thing is, life happens. It's not unusual for people to have multiple kids with multiple people.
Right.
One time though, or 2, you know what I'm saying? But to go out
even, okay,
and it's 6 different women and now you have 12 kids, it's just at this point you're creating broken homes on purpose,
right?
And I don't understand that because again, it always boils down to the kids. The kids are not going to grow up with you present all the time. There's just no way.
Right.
There's no way.
And why would you want that?
And again, same thing with the mothers. If you were baby mama number 4 and you know that this man has X amount of kids, why would you even put yourself in that situation? First of all. And then the other question is, if you did it on purpose and you wanted to have a child by this man in this situation, why? That makes no sense. That to me, it's irresponsible, like you were saying, because it's
unfair.
You're setting yourself up, and you're setting your child up to just to automatically have a broken home, and that is ridiculous to me. I don't understand why you would willingly do that.
It's just unfair, and I don't either. It's unfair to me. Okay, so when baby number, I don't know, I'll pick a number. Baby number 8 starts crying for daddy because he had to be with baby number 5. That's just unfair.
That is wild.
But do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Daddy is not here because he had to be with baby 5. I'm in another city or something.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, come on. And that's just not right.
To me, it's also you're cheating the kids out of those experiences.
You are.
Just period. Because again, there's no way that you're going to every birthday, recital,
you can't
game,
be at every single
holiday.
Thing. Come on, with 12 kids.
There's no way.
Stop it.
So, yeah, and again, just like you were saying, it's not about the money. It's sure he can financially support 12 kids. I'm sure. But cutting a check and actually, being there, raising your kids,
spending time.
There's just no, I'm sorry, that's not the same. And the kids are going to grow up and they're gonna feel that. That's the thing too. It's like, I don't think people think about the impact. Like, when these kids become teenagers and adults, do you not think they're gonna like really think about this? Do you not think they're gonna have to go to therapy about this? Like, it's gonna affect them for the rest of their life. And I feel like people have kids so like willy-nilly that they're like, oh, but it's a baby. Yeah. And then you're not thinking about when they're 25 and need to go to therapy.
The psychological impact of all this. Like, come on.
It's just, just like you said, I just think it's really unfair to the kids. And my thing is, I have such a soft spot for kids. Jay love the kids. And I just... kids don't ask to be brought into this world. They do not. We bring them here. And it's not fair. Yeah. It's not fair to bring them into situations that are like messy from jump. Because again, it's one thing if, accidents happen, people get pregnant. It's like, oh, shoot, okay, didn't really mean to do that. But, we make the best of the situation. Right. But at this point, it's like, if you... Like, right now, it's like, if you were to meet him and he has 12 kids by 6 women and you're becoming baby mama number 7 on purpose, that's insane behavior. Like, really, I'm sorry. There's just no other way to put it. Like, why? Right. So, yeah, that's my take on that. Sense. I feel for the kids, and I don't advocate. I'm not a proponent of broken homes. I don't get it. And I feel like it's such an issue, especially in the Black community. We already have the short end of the stick when it comes to, just the our upbringing. That's been a thing where there's so many single moms, and having a dual parent household in the Black community is rare. So it's like, why keep perpetuating that? I don't like, what are you doing? I don't like that. I agree. So yeah, that's my take on that. It's just like, do you need to have 10,000 kids with however many women? I don't think so. And that's another thing too, is I feel like when you ask men who have a bunch of kids with a bunch of women, it's like, I want to know what that's about though too, because it's like, what is that? Like, what is this? Is it like a kink? Is it like what do you get out of having all these kids with all these women? Like, I don't understand that, because I feel like when you ask them, a lot of times they're like, well, I want my legacy and it's like, what legacy? What, like, I don't understand. I don't understand that at all. I feel like they feel like it's a notch in their belt. Like, they're all proud, like sticking out their chest, like, I have 8 kids. Oh my God, okay, well, are you spending time with these children? Like, a child is not a notch. A child is a human being. No, it's really like a I've met guys that, and I'm like, oh, well. That is so gross to me. Okay. Like, okay. I'm sorry. Well, you have a nice day. That is, because I know that you're that guy. You know what I'm saying? You're that guy, and that's just not appealing to me, because that means you're not taking care of responsibilities. You know what I mean? That, and again, hey, no shade to somebody that has 8 kids that might be taking care of. That doesn't mean everybody. Yeah, if you're taking care of, if you are taking care of your children, kudos to you with all those children. But I'm just saying, it's been pretty rare from what I have seen. Well, especially when it's specifically with multiple women. Yeah, and that's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about when you're with one woman and you have all these kids. Yeah, because that's admirable. Yeah, even 2. Right. But I feel like beyond 2. Oh my goodness, when they start spreading themselves all over the place and have all these different women. Yeah, it's just too much. It is. Because how are you jumping to all these different houses and sometimes different cities? And that gets real interesting. It's just irresponsible. And I got to get on the ladies real quick too, because ladies, some of y'all are guilty of this too. There's women who have multiple kids by, you know, multiple
Right.
men, and that is irresponsible as well. It's the same situation. And I have the same sentiment towards women that do that too, because that is not fair. I don't think, you know, again, life happens, things happen, but when it gets to a point where it's like, now you're on, you know, child number 5 by baby daddy number 5, that's insane. Like,
Right.
you know what I mean? Like,
At
it's just
what
like,
point do you
at
stop?
what point do you stop? At what point do you take
Right.
accountability and be like, oh, I
Right.
need to tighten up? Like,
Right.
do I need to tie my tubes? Do I need to
Right.
practice safe sex? Do I need, like,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, it gets to a point where it's like, you're being irresponsible.
Right.
And
Yeah.
again, I don't like the fact that kids are being brought into broken homes automatically, like off
We have
rip.
to do
That's
better.
not fair.
We just have to do better.
You have, please. It's like,
Yeah.
and when it comes to having kids, like just in general, I need people to think twice. I feel like people, we talked about this in another episode
did.
with, you know, just people having kids, but seriously, I need people to think twice. I feel like people just, they love the idea of having a kid, and it's like, it just sounds so cute and fun. You have to raise a human being. Like, and it's not just for 18 years, by the way. This is for the rest of their life. You're responsible for that child and how they go out into the world.
And it gets harder as they become adults.
Exactly.
For real.
So it's just like, before you lay down and before you're like, oh, but I really want a baby, or I really want a baby with him or with her, like, really think about that. Because people just be popping out kids, and it's like, what? Like, you didn't need to do that. Like, you probably shouldn't have done that. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, that's true.
anyway, we're gonna shift gears just a little bit, because as we mentioned earlier, we were talking about, you know, money and finances, and how, you know, just because you have the money to, you know, have said kids or have multiple partners doesn't necessarily mean you should. So getting into the money aspect of things, we want to get into a story time, because a few episodes ago we had briefly mentioned how Mom had met someone
Oh my goodness.
with a lot of money, and it was a whole situation. And we, I know a couple of you wanted to hear the story time, so we're gonna go ahead and share the story time. So please begin, because it's a ride. It's a ride. So, start from the top.
Hold on, I may need to take a sip of my wine. I may need some wine for this story. I need some wine.
So, yeah, take it from the top.
So, for the sake of this story, I'll be using the name Gilbert.
Yes, this will be about Gilbert.
I need a name for this story.
Yeah. Okay.
So, a while back, I met Gilbert, and, you know, we started out, things were going well. You know, I met Gilbert. Do I want to say where?
You don't have to say where. You don't need to say
I
where.
won't say all that. Okay. Anyway,
but he lived in a different state. Yeah,
okay,
from where she did.
I met him. You know, we talked for a while, back and forth. You know, on the phone, FaceTimed. You know, really got to know him. I think he even chatted with you on the FaceTime.
I think so.
You know, and
like
all that.
Maybe
so,
once,
and all that. And so I really got to know him and all that. So I, you know, felt comfortable enough to, he flew me out to the other state, and I was very comfortable because I was, you know, he put me up and in a room and all that. And so, you know, let me backtrack. He showed up at the airport with a big, huge thing of roses. You know, he was just, he treated me like a queen. It was like something off of a movie.
Yeah.
You know,
I was like,
just,
wow. Yeah.
I mean, everything about this man was like perfect. Yeah. It was like everything. I mean, and so, I didn't start out with saying that Gilbert was a millionaire. He literally was a millionaire.
Yeah.
So he had everything money could buy. He literally was a millionaire. He bought me a brand new wardrobe when I was there. He wined me and dined me. I mean, literally took care of me. Yeah. So that was a whole thing. So, fast forward.
Like, when did things start to go south
Actually,
in paradise?
Well, actually, okay, so I went back and forth a couple times.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was a shift. There was a shift when Gilbert started telling me, you know, you need to wear this. You need to do this. You need to do that. And I was like, oh, okay, well, I might not want to wear that. I might not want to do this. You know, I'm very independent and things like that. So I was like, oh, okay, well, I sometimes don't want to wear red lipstick. You know, I might not want to wear high heels all the time. You know, these type of things, right? So we were going on a cruise. Actually, we were going on a family cruise, I believe.
Oh, you're talking about yeah.
So I had to go back home, and so I had already made up my mind. I said, you know, I'm not so sure about this Gilbert, but I'm gonna have to rethink some things. I was not so sure. I had some thinking to do. So I went back home, and yeah, I just decided, yeah, there would be no more Gilbert. So point being, ladies and gentlemen, Gilbert was everything I thought I had ever dreamed of until he wasn't. So all his money and all his everything didn't matter to me because I just couldn't deal with all the, you know, control and all the, you know, crazy little tiny things that the little micro things that came along with it. There's a part 2 to this. Because do you want me to do the part 2 to it about the contacting?
Yeah, well, I'm saying, okay, before you get into that, you're skipping a little bit because so the thing is like, okay, obviously you told the story about, you know, the whining and dining and oh my gosh, everything is so great. So that was the love bombing part, right? That was the initial.
Yes.
So it was like that technically was like a red flag, but not really, because like when you're being treated right, like you don't immediately assume this is love bombing. Right. But that's what that was.
I did forget that. What? I know what part you're talking about when I didn't go back. And when you did. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what you want me to tell.
Well, tell that and then I'll tell the rest of what I was going to say.
Okay, about when...
Yeah.
That's what you're talking about?
Just finish, yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry, I did forget. I forgot about that.
I'm sorry.
It's been a while. I forgot about some parts.
Because this was years ago, by the way.
So, okay, so what he did was, when I just totally cut him off. I was like, I'm just done with you. I'm over it. And this Gilbert person decided to reach out to my daughter and left this crazy... long, crazy, not a text, but a message on a YouTube.
No, okay. Let's backtrack a little bit, though, too, because the other part why you stopped dealing with him was the essence of, like, the control. Because remember, he was like, he wanted her to, like, move out to the state. He was basically trying to, like, isolate her in a way.
Yeah, he was.
And at the time, like... you were in a very vulnerable place.
I was.
And yeah, he was basically trying to like isolate her and control her. He was like trying to...
I was freshly divorced. I had just gotten divorced. Like just got divorced.
Yeah. And there was just like certain things that he was like doing and saying where I was like, he seems a little like off.
Yeah, J-Lo was starting to not feel him.
I was not
Mom,
feeling it.
When are you coming home?
Because I was like, this is cute and everything that he's like, you know, whining and dining and you get to, you know, roll around in the bins or whatever. But I'm like, but he sounds kind of crazy.
Oh, I forgot this part. Because this is when I started to get a little nervous. I was like, when he took me to the car dealership and I thought he was buying himself a new car. And he was like, you know, sit in this, do this. And I'm like, okay, like, what are we doing? Are you buying this? He was like, I'm buying this for you. Because, you know, you're going to move out here and then you need a new car. And I was like,
whoa.
I didn't say I was moving out here. Hold on here. You know,
Yeah.
these types of things. So I'm just like, okay, you're just trying to take over my whole life.
He was just moving
Like, he
very
was like,
fast.
very like, ugh. Like, he was just
Yeah.
like on me. You
He
know,
was
like,
just moving very
there was
fast.
a lot going
and there
on.
was just a lot of control.
Yeah.
Because, like, just like you said, like, he was trying to, like, tell you what to wear. And then he's like,
Yeah.
well, we're going to church every Sunday and we're doing this. And
Yeah.
you're coming here and we have to go. Like, it was just control.
Yeah.
Like, the control aspect was
yeah,
a
like,
lot.
he was my dad.
And I was
It
like...
was just like a lot.
I was like, I'm not feeling that.
Yeah.
So after she was like, yeah, I'm cool. Like, I don't really think this is what I want to do. And she, like, cut him off. He literally commented on one of my personal
I couldn't believe it.
YouTube videos.
I couldn't believe it.
And was basically like, I'm trying to get in contact with your mom. Like, I'm so sorry. I don't know whatever, like, trying to cry victim. But I'm like, why would you comment on my YouTube video?
How ridiculous.
Like, this is insane.
So mad.
So I deleted it and, like, blocked him. And then he tried to reach out to me again.
Oh, my God.
On TikTok, I think. He found me on some other platform. And reached out again. And I'm like, if my mom has you blocked, why are you reaching out to me? What do you think I'm going to do for you? Do you think I'm going to be like, hey, mom, you know, he reached out to me again. I think you should really give him another chance. Like, no.
Under false pretenses, too. Don't forget that part.
What happened
He
with
lied
that?
about it.
He said, because what did he say? He was
He said it was about.
Oh!
Remember? And that's why you were so mad.
No, that actually pissed me off because so he reached out to me, which I was already like
so
aggravated
mad.
about because I'm like, why are you reaching out to me again when you did it before? But he was like, I'm reaching out because
he's a liar.
Because he something to do with like, oh, she might be involved in this something to do with like a class action lawsuit or something like that. And I was like, I was still side-eyeing because I was like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. But I was like, okay, if this is true, like, I need to make sure my mom's getting her money. So, you know, I don't want to not tell her, and this is actually something that she needs to be aware of. So I told her, and it ended up being a fluke, of course. There was no class action lawsuit. There was no money. He was just trying to talk to her again. And I'm like, see, this is what I'm talking about. All that manipulation and just insane behavior. Like, no, stop. So he got blocked on everything again. Like, stop reaching out. Stop reaching out. And if you see this video ever, stop reaching out.
Right.
Don't reach out ever again.
The manipulation
It's insane.
was just too much.
Yeah, it was a lot of manipulation.
I had to realize that, you know, the manipulative behavior and that controlling behavior and the things that were being said to me, I had to see the signs.
Right.
You know, like, oh, you need to do this and you should do this. And, well, let me tell you what you should do. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's things that you should do, you know? And like, who are you? Because it's like, my thing is this, who are you without your money? That's my thing. No, really. Like
you said in the episode.
Strip away all your money, and then what do we have?
Yeah.
Who are you without that?
Yeah.
Would I want you? Don't think so. I'm just saying, and even with your money, I have to ask myself, are you a nice person? I don't really think you're a nice person. Thing. And I need a nice person in my life, because if you're not a nice person, I have to, because are you going to be treating me kindly? You just see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And the answer was no.
Yeah.
And the answer was no.
I feel like he was just one of those people who used his money and his
to get what
access
he wants.
to just get what he wants.
That's absolutely correct.
And it was, the gifts and the trips and he was one of those people who would like throw that back in your face. Like, look at everything that I'm doing for you.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
So you need
I already dealt with that before. I don't need that again.
Yeah. So yeah, that was that was that little brief story time, because we know we brought it up before.
Right.
But yeah, saying all of that to say to, when you see the signs, first of all, pay attention to them.
For sure.
And don't let anyone, I'm saying this could be men, women, whatever, don't let anyone manipulate you with their money, their access, their whatever.
Absolutely.
You got to see people for who they are and how
Pay attention.
they treat you and their character.
Yeah, just pay attention to the signs.
Yeah, because money cannot buy you love at the end of the day.
I would say do this. Ask yourself, kind of like I just said it, but a little reminder. Ask yourself when you're dealing with someone who may be wealthy, ask yourself, what would they look like if they didn't have any money?
That's the thing.
Yeah, do a little self-check, a test.
Yeah.
What would this person be like if they didn't have any money? If they lost all their money tomorrow,
Yep.
Would you still want to be with them?
Yep. Mm-hmm. And that's such a good point, too, because I feel like people get caught up in that when they're dealing with, like, athletes, entertainers, anybody that has a lot of money. Because that's so true. Like, if you look at some of these rappers, singers, entertainers, athletes, whatever, if they didn't have money, would you really be interested in them? Like really think about it. If they didn't have money and the access and the fame and the this and the that, would you really want to deal with them?
Yeah,
and all
that's a real
their
ask
BS.
yourself
Like,
that
seriously.
question. Would you want to be with them?
Because half of these people would be so raggedy. I mean, they are raggedy already. They just have money. But it's like, like, half these people would not even be looked at twice if they didn't have the money and the access that they do. And I think that's where people get caught up, especially women, and why, you get into these situations like a Nick Cannon situation is they see, they're looking at it with stars in their eyes like, oh, well, it's so-and-so and he has all this money and access and he can help me, with my finances and my situation. And it's like, that's cute and everything.
Right.
But if he had nothing, would you still be interested? Probably not.
Right.
Probably
then
not.
that means you just want to be with the money.
I was going to say, at the end of the day, it just sounds like this is a business transaction.
Right.
This is a business deal.
Right.
Whether it's you, being with this person, you marrying this person, or you having a kid. Like, that's a transaction at the end of the day. Mm-hmm. Sorry. Like, that's literally what it is. So, and it's one of those things, if you're okay with that, and that's, that's what you were going for, then hey. But that usually doesn't end so well. That's all I'm going to say about that. So, yeah, that is basically the gist of our relationships chit chat today. We just wanted to get into, polygamy and the whole, multiple kids, multiple women. Right. We had to tell that story.
Had to tell it. I mean,
that was an interesting one.
Oh boy, yeah. it was a ride, that's for sure.
Yeah, glad that you escaped that one.
Yeah, it was I'm glad I did too.
Yeah.
I almost made a big mistake.
Yeah, but it worked out.
It worked out. I mean, everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
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 It was a lesson learned.
It was.
Yeah.
And I would just say, I just want to end by saying, don't settle and don't compromise. And that goes for, the conversation around polygamy, the conversation around, the multiple kids and multiple partners. I feel like if you want a relationship with one person and that's what you want, go for that. If you want marriage, go for that. If you want multiple partners, go for that. I think the bottom line is just being honest with ourselves about what we actually want and not settling and not compromising, because I think sometimes we get in situations where it's like, well, I really want this. Like, I really want a baby, or I really want to be with this particular person, but he's not emotionally available, or he wants to date other people, or I really want to have a baby, but I want to get married before I have a baby, but he doesn't want to get married. So maybe I'll just have the baby. Like, all these like compromise situations, don't do that, because I just feel like you end up selling yourself short, and then it's like you're not getting what you want at the end of the day, and that's not fair. So I just feel like that's kind of the gist of this. I feel like in these situations, there's so much compromise and like settling going on that doesn't have to be going on. Like, I feel like whatever you personally want for a relationship and for a family, like a family life, or not, if you decide you don't want kids, you need to stay true to that and be honest with yourself and be honest with your partner or partners or anyone that you're dealing with. That's my thing at the end of the day.
Okay.
Do you have anything you want to add?
I I just want to say, you know, after I told my story, having said that, all of that, you know, I didn't give up, haven't given up on love. I love love, and hey, I think it happens how it's supposed to happen and with the person that God sends you.
Yeah.
You know,
Amen.
in the right timing. So, you know, that's how I look at it.
Yeah.
You know,
I agree.
it wasn't supposed to be him, and whoever it is, it is. And if it's not anyone, that's fine too. Because I love me.
Yes, she does.
And my children. So, hey.
So that concludes episode 12. Thank you again for tuning in to our relationship chit chat.
Yes,
please
thank you.
be sure to like this video if you like this video, share, subscribe. We will be here next Sunday, so turn on those post notifications.
Yes.
And until next time, you know we gotta have a drink. Cheers.